Hey, you always bitching about something I didn't get you. Hey, you always bitching about something I didn't get you. So let the doorknob hit you while my damn dog should have bit you.
Early on, there was a musical sense to you. I mean, were you hearing blues in local juke joints? Were you hearing it on records then? I mean, where were you getting, what was your first introduction to blues?
To be honest with you, and this sounds like a joke, I think I was listening to Birds first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I didn't know what a radio was, man, until I was about 16 years old. And I was running around with a rubber band up against my ear, stretching it off, stripping screen, pulling it tight as I could, and listening. And my parents, my grandmother and grandfather, the ones that I know after I learned how to play 2 or 3 licks, they said, we don't know anybody who in the family that was inclined to play music. I don't know why he got it from, so I don't know why I got it from myself.
Mm-hmm. But early on for you, by the late 1950s or so, you have been introduced to chess, and you actually start working as a chess studio musician.
No.
What happened there?
I went to Cobra Records first. The late Magic Sam took me there, and I did 2 45s, and that label collapsed, and that's when chess found Otis and sent Otis to my house to me, and I went to chess. I never was a studio musician, but it had so many great guitar players that would play. And when they got ready to record Walter, Muddy, Sonny Boy, I could go on with that. They would say, if you want it played right, call Buddy.
Egyptian woman told my mother just before I was born, say you got a boy child coming, gonna be all right, you're gonna make pretty women run and jump and shout, and the world gonna know, yes, what's this all about? 'Cause I'm here. And everybody knows I'm here. I'm a hoochie coochie man. And everybody knows I'm here.
Chicago was a very exciting place in the 1950s with all these young bluesmen going up to the city. The clubs on the South Side, you know, we, of course, read about it, but must have been fantastic. Describe the scene. What was it like on a Friday or a Saturday night on the South Side of Chicago?
More than 1,000 clubs, and all the great musicians was living there. And I would leave some nights after I learned how to walk for several blocks to say, well, they told me Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf of Little Water was playing at this particular place, and I'm going to listen to him. I never made it because the doors was open, and every time I passed a club, there was a 3 or 4 piece band, and it sounded just like Sonny Boy Williams or so. So I would go in there and get hooked on that, and I got to wait till the next night to go see it. So it took me a long time to get to where I was intended to go. And I tell people who come to Chicago now, those was the good old days.
We have this blues explosion that was really dominated by the Brits. When do you first meet the Stones and Eric Clapton and these first set of young lions that are basically playing your music?
Well, to be honest, Leonard Chess went to England and got this. Matter of fact, the Stones came into Chicago to sign with Chess, and I was doing a record called My Time After Why, and I never seen a white man with hair that long. And they line them up against the wall, and then while I'm doing my session, I'm like saying, what the hell is this? Jeff Beck and Eric told me they didn't even know a Strat could be played blues on until he saw me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like saying, what did I do? I don't know, man. You know, I was just playing the guitar.
On dry land. Listen, my father told me, yes he did. He said, son, don't you, oh, son, don't you, please, son, don't you rush to be a man. I didn't want to hear that. My father told me, yes he did. He said, son, don't you, oh, son, please, don't you rush to be a man. I wouldn't listen. I should have listened to my father.
You mentioned the 3 guitar players that you were, well, 2 and then T-Bone, BB, and Muddy, your 3 main influences.
If you was interviewing Muddy Waters now, man, you'd be patting your feet as he talked. You know, I'm not that go, oh yeah, I'm not, all that howling whoop into those guys. Until BB came out with the 3 o'clock in the morning, the guitars and harmonicas was obsolete. So for us, high school bands and all that, you could hear the trumpets and drums. And then when Les Paul and Leo Fender and them come up with the electronics on the guitar and thing, that's when the guitar took off. And it's still there.
Is this, I don't know if this is true or not, the first, or how many times have you ever been on record with BB?
I've played on his album,
but not
Blues
his
Strings.
on yours.
I never had him to come.
And how did this happen this time?
The producer just heard the record and said, "But I think BB will do it." And you know, BB and I don't know how to say no to one another.
Now the woman I love, man, you know she kind of big and fat. But what I like about that woman, wait a minute, let me tell y'all something. It's kind of good like that. That's right. I love what I feel, man. I don't let me hear you say yeah. You got to love her with a feeling, man. Or you better not love this woman at all. Now the cops took the woman down, you know she did not. She didn't need no bail. She started shaking for the judge put the cops in jail. Please tell me what kind of woman is this?